The market futures are down big from the tariffs news. And in today's video, we're going to discuss what to expect with the overall market. I'm also going to be sharing with y'all a sector that is ready to make a big move. And we're going to be doing an update on some stocks that I've mentioned previously. Alright, y'all, let's dive into the charts right off the bat. We got the SPY futures, and we have a massive gap down. In the last video, I warned you guys. I told you guys about the potential move up to the little green circle up there. Y'all see that, right? So I drew this thing before Friday. We were out here at this price 61.10ish. All right, and then in the morning on Friday, it kept creeping up. A lot of tech stocks were up. The semiconductors were also moving higher, and it didn't quite get to 61.60, but it did provide an opportunity for y'all to get paid. So congrats if you made money on QQQ. All right. After that, we had a massive sell-off in the last 4 hours of the day. The pattern was nullified. Right. Let me draw this thing. The pattern was nullified after we broke below 61.09. All right. And now what we're looking at is a massive drop on the futures. And the Nasdaq is down by 2.1%, SPY negative 1.6. The Russell is down by 3. It's actually down the most. And then the Dow Jones is down by 1%. Is this going to continue lower? How long is it going to continue to drop? I think that it's forming a bigger pattern that I like and that y'all should be ready for. All right. Like I told y'all here before, but last week when we had this giant dump. All right. The main thing on the thumbnail was, should you panic? I told you no, because I was anticipating the bounce shortly afterwards. And it did bounce. All right. Now in today's session, I'm telling you now again that the short sellers are going to react the same way that they did last week on Monday. All right. Because they're happy right now to see this thing down. And the first thing they're going to do is to collect. Like, they're not stupid. They'll be looking to collect. So I think the market is probably gonna do a whole lot of nothing. Maybe give us something like that at the bottom, and then we will see this thing slowly try to make its way back up throughout the remainder of the week. I don't think we will fall a little bit lower. Like, some sectors might actually fall quite drastically throughout the day, but the market will be divided, and we will see some stocks recovering and some stocks just it won't be too clear today. I'm telling you now. But Tuesday and Wednesday, I do expect some sort of rebound. I do. So support is right here at 59.47. Okay. A break of that, then maybe we can be worried. But right now, I'm telling you now, the shorts are going to be happy to just take their money off the table. Okay. Now let's look at the let's look at that. I'm more excited about the Nasdaq than anything. I really am. More chop, more consolidation before a massive move in the second half of February is what I'm seeing now, and that's what I hope would happen, because it would just make everything so much easier to read. Like, just consolidation into the CPI, which will happen in exactly 2 weeks. Okay, so don't freak out. Things are down. If you have calls, yeah, you may suffer a loss tomorrow. I know. It's part of the game. All right. Sometimes these drops can be a little hard to predict. I didn't swing anything going into the weekend because all of the indices were looking kind of sus. And I will show you our rules too. All right. Now, let's look at one sector that I think is going to make a massive move, or a bigger move, I would say. Even though this is a big move, I think this sector got more room to drop. And that would be the banks. And we're going off with Citi. All right. Now with Citibank, what I see here is a double top. I see a top right here and another top right here. It couldn't get above $83 and it's rolling over right now. A break of this level right there at 79 will cause a massive fall. Also, there is an earnings gap right here that needs to get filled at some point in time. So we're gonna zoom out, and now you can see this is how it's been. All-time highs was previously 80, and now we're at 83, and it has left the outcome of this pattern right here is all of this, and this is the top. So the individuals who bought in right here before the elections, who made this money and were super greedy and held, they're the ones who are going to sell. Like, they're happy right now from 60 all the way up to 80. They're gonna sell, everything is, and then the banks are gonna start to pull back. Now the first gap to get taken care of is gonna be this one right here at 74. Now I don't know how fast that's going to happen. Again, it's just a double top. It may happen faster than it rose. All right, it may take a sweet time and actually drop there by the 21st, but I think that there is a big opportunity here for a drop on the banks. And if you look at the other banks, let's look at Wells Fargo, for example. Yeah, Wells Fargo also same thing. There I drew something. Let me see what happened here. Yeah, okay. So that's what I had on here. So the all-time highs was from 2018, and then before we had this run, we had an ascending triangle starting from 2022 that broke out in 2024 in November, and then the election pushed it higher, and now it's struggling to get above $79. All right, so a potential drop to take care of this gap at 75 wouldn't surprise me also. After that, then the next one to get worried about is the one at 63. All right, so definitely keep your eyes on the banks for tomorrow. Another bank that looks a little bit simpler is Bank of America, and Bank of America had like a line of support that broke down on Friday. It broke down right here and it closed below the line at 46.33. All right, and typically with this, we should see a fall down to like 43, I think. Yeah. Watch the banks. Again, the banks are really, really high and they need to come down. That's just my initial thoughts on them. So if we look at the 4-hour, there is a gap to fill from elections right here at 42. So it's not too far off. Right now it's only at 45. So maybe a pump fake in the morning followed by a drop on Tuesday. Yeah, again, watch the banks for that opportunity. Now, there is this stock that's reporting earnings tomorrow afternoon. That stock is Palantir, and Palantir is currently trading at all-time highs. It's down by quite a bit because obviously the futures are down. All right, and earnings is here. If you look at the daily charts, this is quite a double top. Again, we got a wick. I want y'all to just really take a good look at this. We have short sellers located here. And then we have short sellers, the same short sellers, probably added on Friday and formed this higher wick right there. All right, their stop loss, like if I was to short right here, my stop loss would be 86. And from the looks of it, it didn't get triggered. Like these shorts didn't have their stops triggered. We closed at 82, and right now that they're looking at this thing being opening at 79. They're probably gonna double down through earnings in anticipation of a negative reaction through earnings, because the stock is extremely high on the weekly. Right? The stock had a massive run from $5 to $80. So just do not be surprised if the company announces great numbers, but the reaction is negative. Just don't be surprised. Holding anything through earnings is gambling, and there's a 66% chance of you losing your money. So I'm just gonna say that. All right. Now the next one that we're going to look at, we gotta look at my Adobe, which I lost money on. I was so mad. I talked about this one yesterday, and let me show you guys. This is the one that I lost on. So Adobe had the perfect structure, my favorite, and it broke out at the right time. And I bought calls in there for the move up to 470. And typically with this, again, I know what it's supposed to do, and I know what it's not supposed to do. And what it's not supposed to do is get back underneath that horizontal line at 445. And in the morning, literally like 7 minutes after the market opened, I had to get rid of it because of that. Like I saw one candle here, and then after this candle, I was like, yeah, I'm out. And then I took a loss right here. All right. It doesn't usually happen. It doesn't usually behave like that. But on a rare occasion, it can piss me off like this. All right. It is still my favorite structure, and every time I see it, I will take that trade. Unfortunately, with Adobe, unlike the other tech stock like SOXL, for example, which I gave you guys, SOXL, Adobe doesn't have as much volume. Volume is needed for this structure to play out perfectly. This is what I was expecting with Adobe. I was expecting all of it to run. So if you had SOXL, which was the main stock for the last video, I hope you guys got paid. After I took that loss on SOXL, I took a day trade on NVDA for this reason, right? We have a bull flag that broke out at like 125. Then I had a price target of 132. The contracts didn't go up too much. The stock was climbing from the entry. It went all the way up to 128, and then I had to get rid of it after everything failed. And we also saw that news from the indices. The indices started to roll over, and the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq look like this on the 4 hour. All right, in the afternoon we had an even bigger sell-off right there. So I had to cut the video as well. And right now that one is down by a lot, I think. Yeah, it's down by quite a bit. And I'm sure some of you have questions about the video, like could it go lower? Let me answer that for you. This video is getting a little longer than usual, but let's talk about this. So when the video right now is down, typically with this, I think the breakdown happened kind of early, and it happened without confirmation either, like from Monday. So y'all remember what I showed y'all with Bank of America. Bank of America had confirmation. It closed below this horizontal line. But with this structure right there, I think personally, I think it's a bit early. That breakdown is early, and I don't think it's gonna go down all the way. Like the lowest I can see this thing going is 100. The lowest I can see this thing going is 100. All right. I don't see this thing dropping all the way down to 90, which I would have thought would happen if the breakdown happened like maybe 2 weeks from now. All right, because this is early, and when things are breaking down early, I'm thinking this is just sus. All right, so if you're shorting this thing, just don't get too greedy. Watch how it behaves. I think 100 is like the low of the low before we see a major bounce on the video. That's what I think. Yeah, that's my initial thoughts on it. The structure is just too narrow. I like it when there is, like, the longer it consolidates, the bigger the drop becomes, right? And this wasn't too long of a consolidation. I don't like that. That's my thoughts on it. What else? Tesla. Yeah, let's look at Tesla, because I'm sure a lot of you have questions about that too. So let's talk about Tesla. Ooh, I drew some structures on here. And Tesla is down to 480. It looks like we're gonna retest 360 really soon again. The market is being generous to anybody who didn't have buy orders right here. All right. Could it go down below somewhere? Maybe, but I'm sure people might not let this thing fall down. So for long-term investors who like to buy stock, you're gonna get another opportunity to buy at 360 something. All right. And I don't think there's gonna be a big move to the upside on Tesla until this line right here gets breached. That's all I'm going to say. So until then, Tesla is going to demolish traders in this zone moving forward. That's my thoughts on it. All right, so I hope that helps, and that is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button as always. I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 8 p.m. Central Time, so definitely click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow my social media at Paul Naguma and at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in tomorrow night's video.